Hello, once again, you're welcome. Bringing news to your front view. Moses Calvin is my name with the newspaper headlines for today. And we're going to start with the Independent Daily. The first leading story from the front of that newspaper is Federal Government's domestic borrowing spree triggers fixed income sell-off. And also PFIPC, ADC rejects ICPC probe, calls for independent panel. Reps order probe into 1.3 billion naira budget allocation to PFIPC. Governors ready to manage state policing from Governor Alias, the one saying that. Senate moves to tighten nose on fake drugs and unsafe foods. Budget implementation, reps in rowdy session over call to summon Tinubu. CBN threatens penalties for rejection of 100 naira notes. And also NUPRC issues 2024 PPLs to unlock investment in upstream oil and gas. That's it from the Independent Daily newspaper. Now we'll move on to the Guardian newspaper. The leading story in front of the Guardian newspaper says legal distractions, intimidation, weakening positions 2027 contest. And also NANS name 43 institutions in Nelfund double tuition scandal. Ex-policemen reject PENCOM's option B to protest poor welfare. And also PFIPC probe divides National Assembly as ADC Atiku insists on independent inquiry. Senate 6 15-year jail term, assets forfeiture for fake drug dealers. Tinubu hails Benway's industrial growth as Alia comments federal government reforms. And also Circle Ventures invest in FruitoWave at $3.25 billion valuation to accelerate cross-border payments. Top part of it says reps in rowdy session over Tinubu's summon, budget implementation delay. And Turkish men kill 5, abduct women in Sokoto. Last but not the least, from the Guardian newspaper, State Police, Lagos Assembly rallies states on speedy approval, Northern Governors meet. Moving on to the New Telegraph newspaper, from the front of the New Telegraph newspaper says, insecurity, shoot terrorist on sight, don't wait for order, Defense Minister tells soldiers. Union, growing debt crisis threatening aviation safety. NDLEA appeals acquittal of Pretty Mike for drug-related offenses. The top part of it says IMF, higher prices for essentials to worsen poverty in Nigeria. And still they're also carrying the same story as the previous newspaper, which says rowdy session as reps reject move to summon Tinubu over delay in funding budget. ADC centralizes legal matters, bans states from handling court cases. Threat to life, I may not be alive to contest in 2027, says Peter Obi. And from the lower part of it, Adeyemi backtracks, says he's unsure of Gbajabiamila's involvement. Xenophobia, federal government threatens more drastic action over killing of Nigerians in South Africa. That is it from the front of the New Telegraph. The Daily Times newspaper is next. From the front of the Daily Times newspaper, budget funding, Abbas blocks attempt to summon Tinubu, insists House must follow approved motion. Insurgency, don't wait for orders, Musa reissues shoot on sight order to troops. And from the top part of it, news that the aviation industry crisis looms as ANAP threatens showdown over mounting debts. And also how NNPC's $20 billion gas deals fail to deliver 2 million BPD oil production targets. That's it from the front of the Daily Times. Moving on to the Matrix. The Matrix newspaper is next. Leading story in front of the Matrix newspaper. Federal government welcomes ExxonMobil's $1 billion investment, says it is expected to add 40,000 barrels per day to Nigeria's crude output. Awards petroleum prospecting licenses to winners of 2024 licensing round. Tinubu to CSOs, put Nigeria first, shun harmful foreign influence. Ceasefire is over, Trump threatens more strikes on Iran. Top part of it, CBN cracks down on rejection of 100 naira notes, warns offenders of sanctions. Lateef Adedimeji opens up on wife's triplets pregnancy. Support Tinubu's re-election to sustain reforms, Tampolo urges Nigerians. And I want to join Arsenal Newcastle captain Guimaraes tells club. Now the picture there in front of the matrix is the picture of the Vice President Kashim Shettima commissioning Collector Road CO1 and a bridge linking the body of Benchers, Nile University and Bayes University in Abuja's institution and research district with the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and other dignitaries. There's the picture. And the PFIPC scandal, ADC rejects ICPC probe, demands independent judicial panel. How I was also misled to engage with agency, Reps Deputy Speaker Kalu opens up, and also PFIPC was created to attract investors, promote Tinubu's agenda. Embattled DG is one saying that. That's it from the front of the matrix. Now we're going to move over to the Punch newspaper. The Punch newspaper boldly is there. 2027 elections, 6 legal hurdles before INEC, and that's the picture of His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu at being welcomed to the graduation of the national executives of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu door-to-door movement. Rising prices threaten Nigeria's poverty reduction gains. This was coming from the International Monetary Fund, IMF. Constituency projects, alleged funding suspension throws reps into rowdy session. We're going to put a full stop there from the Punch newspaper. Now we're going to take the last but not the least newspaper for today, Daily Trust, the newspaper you can trust. The leading stories in front of the Daily Trust newspaper. North must unite against banditry, terrorism, says the Sultan. And top part of it, oil prices jump amidst renewed US-Iran hostilities. Plateau Assembly moves to provide pension for ex-lawmakers. And also, don't wait for order before shooting terrorists, Defense Minister tells soldiers. Reps to invite Budget Minister over Phantom Council. And also the down part of it, courts remands Kofi over allegations against Katsina government. Rainfall destroys over 20 houses, farmlands in Plateau. And last but not the least, Appeal Court orders status quo in Ibadan school hijab case. That is it from the front of the newspaper you can trust, which is the Daily Trust newspaper. Thanks for watching Newspaper Headlines. This Calvin is my name. Bye for now.